Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the more survivalists, and as I told you before, the West has no intention to help Ukraine in this invasion that they're suffering from Russia. It is all just a smokescreen so as to hide what's going on behind that curtain, which is actually business as usual. This was agreed with Russia. You will be allowed to go along and invade Ukraine, do what you like. We couldn't care less. We'll just pretend to give a damn with sanctions that will not put a dent to your economy, the same useless sanctions that have been in place since 2014, while at the same time do business as always. We're going to be buying gas, oil from Russia, from the main exporters of energy from Russia as always, and we promise we won't do a thing to help Ukraine. We're not sending any planes, we're not sending any tanks, we're not sending any long-range weapons. We'll just sign contracts as to keep benefiting the same elite that benefits as always, and at the same time we're going to be using you as an excuse as to justify the inflation we cause ourselves. And we actually just passed a beautiful anti-inflation deal that's putting even more money in our pockets. So thank you, Russia, for that excuse. This is what I told you all along, and you have proof of it here. This is from the Kiev Independent, and there's actually a couple other media outlets. There's not a lot, though. If you look it up yourselves, you will find that if you look up Germany blocks Spain from sending Leopard tanks, there's really nothing. I mean, there's just a couple, reposts from some somewhat known media outlets. But when you look at anything that is more of the legacy media, it goes with this bullshit narrative of Spain says its mothballed German-made tanks were not fit for war. It is a lie. They were perfectly fit for war. Keep in mind that the Ukrainians use the tanks they shoot down themselves from the damn Russians. They restore those, they jerry-rig those, and get them back in combat against the Russians. Imagine if they couldn't have used 10 nice Leopard tanks that were already, in service in Spain. But no, the order came from Germany, and this according to Der Spiegel that reported, citing anonymous government sources, that Germany warned Spain that it would constitute a departure from the alleged informal decision by the West not to provide Western tanks to Ukraine. They're not providing tanks, they're not providing planes, they're not providing long-range weapons, they're not providing anything that could actually be useful in this war. If Berlin agreed, it says it would have been the first time a NATO member had delivered battle tanks to Ukraine, and we really cannot allow that because we already agreed with the Russians that's going to be business as usual. Ukrainians, they can go screw themselves. That's the agreement they have with Russia. You're just a perfect excuse as to keep milking money from people in Europe, in US, and especially in US, given everything going on, and blame Putin, or even sweeter, just blame Ukrainians. They're getting my money. These greedy Ukrainians that want to live, they're getting all my money. No, you're a fool. Ukrainians are not giving a cent from you. All of that money, using Putin as an excuse, using corrupt Ukrainians as an excuse, is just funneled from your pocket into the elite. Raytheon Martin, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, the big military industrial complex firms, those are the ones that are taking your money, and what's reaching Ukraine is the leftover of peanuts. It is nothing. And of course they will take it, because why not? They are being slaughtered by a much superior by a much superior military. They will take whatever as you send. If you send even stupid helmets like Germans did, they will take that, because they will take anything. But the idea that you're doing anything serious to help these people out, it is ridiculous. And it is pathetic to see this woman. This is the Ministry of Defense of Spain, which is, it's a left-wing clown, like most of these figures usually are.
Están en una situación absolutamente lamentable. Yo mañana por la mañana voy a visitar la embajada.
Yeah, the tanks are in no good shape to be sent to Ukraine, especially when Germany told us we couldn't send them. Yes, now we see that they were really in bad shape, and we can't send them. But I'll visit the embassy of Ukraine and say I'm sorry for not sending the tanks that you desperately need. It is pathetic. It is sad. It just says a lot about the world we're living in right now. There's just, there's no shame in what we're doing, people. But to think that the West is aiding Ukraine in any way, you just don't know what's going on. It is business as usual. Putin is very happy with this. The West is very happy with this as well. You have your budgets, going on as usual. Billions going to the same firms. It was pharma. It is still pharma. Because if we're going to be fighting inflation, which we're really not fighting inflation, but we have to save the environment, so we have to give money to big pharma because that's how we cap insulin, yet everything else goes up in price. Jesus Christ, do you not see what's going on? Folks, see you on our next video. Take care.